You two must feel, well, hardly the greatest men in the universe at the moment. Just tell me again, the schedule for the last, like, 48 hours for you two.
Well, we've decided that we've extended Wednesday, and Thursday doesn't exist. You know, it's going to be Wednesday until Friday.
Yeah, we've had like 4 breakfasts in the past 2 days, I guess, and no dinner and no lunch, just breakfast.
No sleep.
No sleep.
You've just come in from a gig, virtually, on the other side of the world. Just, where were you going?
Elvis's house. We were in Memphis.
Memphis, Tennessee.
Yeah, and it's,
Yes.
They call it Death Week there.
Death Week?
Yeah,
what?
it's really bad. I mean, but I was doing a newspaper interview, and the guy says, you know, it's Death Week. And I says, wow, this is really depressing. He goes, no, it's the anniversary of Elvis's death, you know. So they have like these Greyhound buses going through the city, and it says the Elvis fan club on the road on tour, you know, and they have these limousines driving around as if Elvis was in it. It's like really weird.
Yeah, and it's a tremendous thing. They have his bus and his plane, you know, it's like a whole tribute to him, and everybody's making money except for him because he's...
So what's the attitude to new rock and roll bands in Memphis then? I mean, was it difficult to play, or is everyone... Are they more interested in the newer bands or Elvis stuff still?
No, I mean, being that it's Elvis's hometown, you know, and all that idea of him starting, you know, basically the rock and roll way we know it, it's a big tourist center, you know. They enjoyed new bands. We played there last year in the Coliseum, and then this year at a place called Mud Island, and it was like, it's an outdoor venue right on the Mississippi River. But it was a great show. It was, you know, sold out. And, you know, it was going well, and then we did get a few hours sleep and caught the plane first thing in the morning.
You've hardly taken a breather. I mean, you've interrupted the tour that you're doing with Rat right now to come over here. You must be insane in the middle of a tour to rush halfway across the world to do another gig.
As far as we know it, it's just another city in America. You know, the plane just went from Memphis and took a wrong turn.
Yeah, it really hasn't been interrupted. We've been out since April. We hit Japan first, you know, and we did 4 weeks of headlining over there, and then we bopped over here to Europe for 5 weeks, and then we went straight to America. It took about 2 days to do our laundry, and then we've been in touring America now for about 2 months. So
yeah, it looks as though it's not going to end as well, you were saying a moment ago.
Yeah,
no, it could be
this is
rumors.
This is our manager's Count de Monet tour, you know?
Listen, shouldn't you be sort of getting it ready for your next album and everything now, writing? Is that something you can do on the road?
No, not at all.
Not really. You know, you're so wound up, and it's sort of a monotonous type of thing where you basically have a routine where after the gig you get on the bus or you get on a plane, you go to the next city, you're sleeping either on a bus or on a plane, and you wake up and you get ready, you do the gig, and the same thing happens over and over again. And in between, it's all promotion and TV, radio, and interviews and stuff like that. So it's pretty busy schedule.
It seems that you're going for a world market at the moment. I mean, you're not concentrating your efforts solely in the States. You've come over to do Donington over here, of course. You're looking forward to that, I suppose.
Oh, yeah. That's going to be great. One thing that was, with the success of the 7800 album, it's already, you know, outsold the first one everywhere. And what we've done is basically decided to build up a world market as opposed to just the States, and then coming here, you know, when you're already established there. It keeps us busy, you know. Coming back to Donington was something that we knew we wanted to do when we were here in May, and, you know, doing our own tour. And it was just a matter of seeing who was on the bill, you know, and then if we could get on it, and the ZZs let us on, you know. So.
Yeah, your relationship with ZZ goes back some way.
Yeah.
Explain that a little.
Another one of those, believe it or not, you know, we played Madison Square Garden for the first time. We were signed, but the record wasn't coming out for about 3 more months, and we had no manager and no equipment, you know, no big stuff. You know, we're doing the Garden. We're like calling up our friends and going, come on, man, I don't want to lift my own amp at the Garden. I got to have somebody else. You know, It ain't going to look good if we go to Madison Square Garden and lug our own equipment.
We couldn't afford to, you know, pay anybody back then. Just before that, we were on a tour with Eddie Money with the 5 of us and our road manager in a station wagon, driving across the country. So that was rather interesting. And then we got a call. A friend of ours is a promoter, John Shearer, in the States, and he said, "You guys want to play the Garden with ZZ Top?" And, you know, we just said, "Sure."
You were hardly prepared for that one. Are you prepared for Donington then?
No, we rented equipment.
You've done it all. You haven't brought anything over. You've rented everything over here.
Oh yeah.
guitars. You know,
Yeah,
I
a
mean,
few pieces.
couple
Well,
things.
I'll tell you, the same thing happened when we were in Europe the last time. Our equipment, we sent it over on a boat, and it was floating around the Mediterranean Sea or something, lost for a whole month and a half we were here. So every city that we arrived in, it was like a nightmare.
Right.
Because we were on new equipment, totally new equipment. The road crew was, out of their minds.
How can a boat get lost right between New York and England? You just go right this way, I mean, I just look for the light shine, and this guy must have took a wrong
That's
turn
right.
somewhere, and we were renting equipment every night. We had about 4 dates left in England, and this was like the end of the European tour that we got our own equipment back. When it got here, we said, ship it home, and
Yeah.
let it get there before the American tour starts.
Do you have any plans to come back to Britain and Europe when you've eventually finished this giant of a tour you're doing there?
I think the idea is to finish the year out in America, possibly hit Australia around Christmas time, and then sit back and think about a new producer, possibly coming over here to do the next album, and taking a while to do the next album.
Yeah, by all means. England and basically all of Europe, it taught us a lot, being on the road for 2 years now. It kind of gives you an education of what the world is about and the way, different cultures and different people look at things, Really made us grow up,
Are you better people for it, though?
I agree, I think, yeah.
Out of the gutter and into your hearts.
That's right. Absolutely.
That's good.